If you are too busy to work on your business, here's how you're going to start in just 2 hours a day. And if you don't have a product, an offer, or any idea of what you want to sell, that's even better. Because when you are starting from zero, you have the freedom to build what people actually want instead of wasting years on something that nobody cares about. I used to work as a lawyer for successful entrepreneurs while building my own one-person business on the side. And back when I was doing both, I made a ton of mistakes on the way. So to help you avoid wasting years on the wrong things, I'm going to share how you can build your own one-person business in just 2 hours a day in 4 simple steps. The first step is to ask yourself what matters the most right now. Because everything about how you'll spend these 2 hours comes downstream of understanding that. So this isn't going to be about productivity and finding the hours to work on your business, because carving out time isn't worth much if you don't spend it on the right things. When it comes to starting a business, you can put 10 hours a day into something for years and yet have nothing to show for it. And it will not be because you didn't work hard enough. It will be because you picked the wrong tasks, didn't do them well enough, and kept going for way too long. So someone with 2 hours can get way better results than someone with 40 because they know how to get the results they want and the daily tasks that translates into, and how to prioritize to achieve their goals. So the good news are that you don't need more time, but you need to figure out how to prioritize and how to be efficient. So let's start there, so you actually get value out of spending 2 hours a day on your business. So ask yourself, what is the one thing I can do this week for my business that makes everything else unnecessary? And focus your 2 hour slots on that. Don't switch between tasks unless you really need to, because you will lose a lot of focus on the way. This is about efficiency, not ticking things off a list. You can think of prioritizing your tasks as a domino game, where in some cases one brick falls over and immediately makes the rest fall over too. Some activities compound and give you way more in return, which makes other tasks unnecessary. One example is that if you have a good content strategy, you don't need to spend time directly reaching out to clients. They come to you instead. But you need to keep making sure that your efforts compound into the business you want to have in the long run. And I'll use my first content creation business as an example, which used to run on the side of my corporate job. My daily task was usually editing tomorrow's piece of content for Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok. That in itself is easy to do, and at a glance it makes sense. I was consistent for years, but didn't ask myself frequently enough what that task was compounding into, and whether it would take me where I wanted over time. I kept thinking I'll just keep growing this and figure out the details once I finally have more time. But 6 months after quitting my job to go full-time on that business, I shut it down. So, to keep you from making the same mistakes, I will go deeper into this in the video. But in the beginning, most of us have no idea of what we're doing, and questioning your own plan is scarier than it is to keep going, especially if you're thinking of going full-time and your livelihood is on the line too. So what I would do differently now is that I would get someone who's further ahead to look at my business earlier, because I avoided that for years, because I thought that all I needed was time and that I could do everything on my own. And I also didn't want to spend money on the business before having made money in the business. But with all the free advice out there, it is very easy to apply the wrong thing at the wrong time. And a more experienced person can spot what you're doing in a matter of minutes, which can save you years of wasting time on something that will not work the way you think. The next thing to decide before narrowing this down to 2 efficient hours a day is what problem you're solving and for who. And this is where I made my biggest mistakes in my old business. I never chose an ideal client, and I couldn't commit to one problem. So I kept solving many problems for many types of clients. But when you try to appeal to everyone, you either get the wrong clients or no clients at all. So start here first. And if you have already started your business, take a step back and ask whether you have actually made a decision about who you want to serve. Are you specific enough in your description of what you do and who you're doing it for? Because there is no point in spending 2 hours a day on tasks to get clients when you aren't clear about this, because it confuses people and they go somewhere else. So depending on whether you're targeting businesses or consumers, pick a person or type of business that you understand well and whose situation you could explain to a stranger in just a couple of sentences, because you have been there yourself or worked closely with them. Then pick one problem they already know that they have and want to get rid of. The best part is that you don't need to be an expert. You just need to be a few steps ahead of your client, yet close enough to still understand what it's like to be in their shoes. And if you're struggling to define this for yourself, you can book a call with me below and we will work through it together. You'll find the link in the description. And keep in mind that this deeper type of work needs more focus and clarity than a tired 2-hour evening slot can give you. But doing this first and actually making a choice is what makes the rest of it work on 2 hours a day. When you know who you want to help and what you want to do for them, the next thing a lot of people do is start building a product or a service. But that is a great way to end up building something that nobody's interested in. What you should do instead is marketing before building, which means getting in touch with your ideal client and showing them how you can solve the problem before you build anything. You can do that through outreach, which is talking to people directly, or through content or paid advertising. What you pick depends on your business and your goals. And over the past 7 years, I've tried most of these both for myself and with clients. There is no one-size-fits-all, so give yourself room to experiment and don't be afraid to ask for help. But don't forget that this will not work as well if you haven't committed to who you help and what problem you solve in step 2. So if you have spent months without seeing any traction, go upstream to step 2 and get clearer about this. And if you want someone else to take a look at this for you, you can book a call with me below and we will get into your specific situation together. You'll find the link in the description. Step 4 is to make the most of your 2-hour slot. And as a beginner, the job is to get clients, and to do that, you first need to learn how to get them. So 20% of your time goes to studying how other people do this, and 80% to experimenting to figure out what works for you, because there is no one-size-fits-all here. If we translate that to Instagram, just as an example, because this can be translated to any platform, 20% is research and figuring out what you're posting next month. The remaining 80%, ideally, all of your 2-hour slots goes into preparing and executing it, so creating, editing and posting. Client delivery should be done when your brain is in its best shape. And if you have a job, this is likely during weekends, but you need to cater to their schedule. As you do your own experiments, step back monthly and ask yourself, what is working, what isn't, is there a better way to reach my goals? Then recommit to your improved weekly repeatable workflow. Experiment with the hours you pick. Try mornings, try evenings, try weekends, and see what gives you the best results. I ended up using most evenings, sometimes mornings, and weekends as needed. Save the tasks that need a better brain for mornings or weekends, and leave the evening for the work you can do without much brain power. Don't expect that this will be fun once you've been at it for a while. You can't expect yourself to love every part of running a business on the side, but you need to like it enough to keep going until you can delegate the parts you don't want to do yourself. There is a middle between doing what you love and doing what pays, so don't let boredom or you feeling like you're not getting enough out of this stop you. But if you want more tips on setting yourself up for a successful transition from your job to running your own business, check out this playlist where I go deeper into each part of it. And don't forget to subscribe for the next video. See you there.